You have to mention the fact then, don't you?
Well, I've informed everyone throughout the emails that I was going to be recording it, and I'm hoping, trusting that that's enough. So I'm delighted that you're here to join it live. This is my first workshop, and actually I do lots of Zooms one-to-ones, but running a workshop appears to be a little bit more chaotic. So thank you for joining me. And I would like to start by just as closing our eyes for seconds and taking 2 or 3 lovely long deep breaths. And then I would like you to stare straight ahead. And without moving your head, I would like you just to raise your eyes, please, and look at a pinpoint position. And allow your vision to haze over almost. And you're seeing so much above, so much below, so much to the sides. Because we want to welcome in everything that's around us. And then just come back to the room. So I'm going to be reading a bit of this off my notes because it's the first time and I'm just trusting it's going to go very nicely. So this workshop is going to be recorded as it is, and it's in 3 parts. The first part, we're discussing I'm discussing the organ-mind-brain connection, the mind-body connection, the emotional and physical health connection within our being, so that you are empowered to take, if you choose, some control over a healing journey. The second part is stress release work. We're going to use some EFT tapping, emotional freedom technique, working with bringing in powers of gratitude, and we'll start that by looking at values. And this part offers peace and expectation. The expectation that you're going to feel empowered and it's going to help you in future decisions, etc. The third part, I'm being reasonably bold here, the third part is a reimprint. Perhaps call it a visualization if you wish. A reimprint to empower health, healing, values, gratitude, a little bit of future self-work. And the intention is that you'll feel invigorated and strengthened, focused by appreciating what you have, but have momentarily maybe forgotten. We tend to forget some of our values, what's important to us. And that's one of the key points today, to value what's important to us. And I'm grateful for you all and all the people who will have the recording who have shown interest. There are 2 main points I wish to emphasize. It's very simple. You are responsible for your emotional safety today, not me. And if you happen to feel triggered by anything, that's not my intention. If you happen to feel triggered, move away, take some breaths, take 5 minutes, join again. You know how triggered you'll be. That's one of the reasons why I've muted the attendees today, because I don't wish to take time out to do an example of how to help someone. This is not a workshop for that. And I hope you've got some paper and pencil. You won't need it for much, but it might come in useful. I've mentioned that you're on mute. And during question and answers at the end, then I shall unmute you. And I have a co-host who's keeping an eye on certain things. But don't have any worries about being asked to contribute during the middle of this. For those who don't know me, I'm Susan Cowmiller, and I've been working in energy healing, emotional healing for over 10 years. I've got counselling skills, which is the talking therapy, and then I moved on to energy healing. I just warmed to that completely. Reiki, then EFT, developments of EFT, which is the emotional freedom techniques, tapping. This led to an interest in meta health. And I trained as a lifestyle prescriptions health coach because I love working with how the body presents its physical symptoms. And my background working with stress plays a massive part in the healing journey of a physical health symptom. It's the root cause of a symptom. And then we do the healing and release work, and the symptom can be lessened, managed, or cleared, depending on how much work a client individually undertakes. I wrote my book, Survive and Thrive After Trauma, in 2012. I knew my traumatic story inside out, and I very quickly hoped that writing it down would be a releasing exercise and useful for others. So this is part 1, and this is where I have to test my abilities in bringing up a slide. I may be doing it. Yeah?
Share screen. You open to PowerPoint.
Yeah.
Share screen.
Sharing screen, yeah.
Right, choose the screen.
Which one? No, that's got me.
Well, it says you are screen sharing. What are you sharing? Click on New Share.
That. Right, yeah.
No, click on the green New Share.
Okay.
Right, choose that one. Ask if it's there.
Can you nod your head if you see it? Oh, perfect. Thank you. This is different from one-to-one, I can tell you. I practiced this weeks ago. Okay. Let me get me back. Not belong. So, it took a bit longer than I intended. If you can see this beautiful picture that says the 6 root causes of all symptoms, I'm just going to briefly, and I'll make it very brief now because I've wasted some moments. The 6 root causes, you may even see my little stick going round, of a health symptom. You have one of your organs of your body, one of the parts of your body plays up, and it will portray its symptoms. And I'm basically talking, I think, about chronic health, a repetitive symptom popping up. And stress, I'm going to read a particular piece because stress plays a significant part in how our body presents its symptom. And research estimates as much as 90% of illness and disease is stress related. Stress can interfere with your physical functioning, bodily processes, high blood pressure, cardiovascular, heart. But the sore knees and the sore shoulders and the sore throats, etc., stress plays 90%. Moving on to the beliefs. Beliefs, I can't do that, I won't do that, I'm expecting this to happen. Beliefs impact our health colossally. And emotions, negative emotions. Negative emotions debilitate. Negative emotions can be anything like sadness, anger, disappointment, not good enough, not deserving, envy, helplessness, hopelessness, rage. If any of these strong feelings were to come up today, that's an example of when you take time out. And my suggestion is, when you are becoming more and more aware that you have an emotional reaction, catch yourself. And if you've got your pencil to hand, just say, emotions catch myself, because I'm suggesting that you have three go-to, when you're smart enough to realize, three go-to solutions to distract yourself. Get up from what you're doing, take some breaths, have a drink of water, just in the seconds to distance yourself from moving into anger or rage or very strong emotions, which quite simply, they don't serve us. These days, with all that's going on, we have to be doubly assertive with positive things to raise energetic levels. Now, lifestyle, I want to say a tiny bit about lifestyle, because there's so much that you can say about lifestyle and the percentage of people who are strong enough to alter lifestyle habits, because it takes effort. You have a responsibility when you want to change a bad or non-serving lifestyle habit. The bottom line is with you. If I've got bad lifestyle habits, it's up to me. We can get help from people, but it's your responsibility. Social habits. Habits from the past, how we were brought up, perhaps. All these lifestyle, social, beliefs, emotions, and stress play a part on our physical health. And I'm moving on, and on this occasion, I make it crystal clear, please, that I'm not talking about anything genetic. I'm talking about, let's make it really simple. Really simple always works for me. I'm talking about a sore knee. Oh, my knee's flared up again. Or palpitations. Or, let's have another one, a stomach bug. Or I'm not going into irritable bowel, but we all know when our bowels are irritating us. So, but I'm definitely not talking about genetic. I will not be held responsible for assuming I'm talking about anything genetic. It's about day-to-day symptoms. And I'm going to now talk about the points and phases. What is the time? Okay, 2 or 3 minutes left. The points and phases of a health symptom. Imagine your health symptom, whatever it is, it starts with a stress trigger. A lot of this goes on in the subconscious. There is a trigger, we're set off, and we behave in a particular way. Once that stress trigger has gone into action, we're working within a stress phase. And you're getting on with what you're required to do, what you're asked to do by a boss, for example, potential family member. You're in the stress phase because you've chosen to do something. And the time scale of the stress phase can be very short or very, very long. Life situations, divorce, for example, can go on for a very long time. I'm not suggesting you can jump out of that stress phase in a hurry. So we have our stress trigger. We jump into a stress phase. And think chronic health here. Once the stress phase is resolved, once it's cleared, this is part of the regeneration healing trigger. So something happens to move us out of the stress phase. The situation stops, is cleared, ended, but you have had a trigger to move into a regeneration healing phase. Now, if I say that I've studied long and hard over years at various levels to understand this, I'm trying to make this simple. We have a stress trigger. We're in a state of stress dealing with an issue. The issue ends, and that's the healing trigger, the opportunity for regeneration, the trigger. We move down into the regeneration phase. And this is the point where your body is basically saying, okay, I can mend now. You've given me the opportunity to help you manage your stress. This is when you feel ill. The time when you think that you should be feeling more relaxed and happy and at ease, your body decides to go into regeneration, to healing. And this is when you feel sick and ill, small ailments, life-threatening ailments, and fatal, because think heart attacks. This is when, if you have no understanding of how your physical body works, you'll feel surprised. You'll feel cheated. You'll feel angry or sad, irritated, because you're feeling ill at a time when you might expect to feel stronger and more at ease. A classic is people working, they're going on holiday, they're finishing off their jobs, they're getting hounded by a boss, or if they're self-employed, they're getting hounded by themselves. They're planning the suitcase, etc. They're checking this, that, and the other. They walk out the door, get on the plane, arrive at their destination, and some people are ill when they're on holiday because their body's relaxing and going into regeneration. Let's see where I'm going now with this. I am not suggesting at any point here that anyone bypass doctors, specialists, treatment. Some people do promote that. They're very much into self-healing. But I'm suggesting that you can do a lot of work yourself. But if a client comes to me with a big issue, whatever that may be, in their head or my head, I need a doctor's diagnosis anyway before I would dare to touch certain things. And your body is a fantastic healing machine, and it is only working to help you. Always remember that. The mind and body aren't separate. They're working together to help you heal. And sometimes, I'm adding this in, it's not in my notes, we can abuse ourselves that much that our bodies get too big a healing journey to do. And that's when it can be an extremely unpleasant healing journey. I work with the root cause analysis to a physical health symptom. And when we find the root cause analysis, you'll be wondering where this might have anything to do with values and empowerment. When we find the root cause of the health symptom, we then work to heal it. And that's where all the tools and techniques come in to release. I don't know whether any of you have done much coaching, for example, but one of the things that they go into are values. And we're going to be touching on values in a moment. I would like to now go into my other picture. I'm not sure I can do this, Herb. I'm up here, I'm pressing this. Aha! I'm better than I think. Right. I'm going to give you a little example of a health problem, a skin problem. I have to make this simple because I've taken many months occasionally with all the charts I have to get my head around this. I know how to ask people questions to do with their physical health symptom. Because years and years and years of practice with very, very skilled people in meta healing and lifestyle prescriptions have give us the results. And I know how to ask someone. You might go to a trusted friend who's a therapist, and unless they have this background in physical healing, you know, you're wasting hours of time. Excuse me, please. So if my little, could you perhaps nod your head if you see my little pointer? Lovely. I'm going to choose eczema. I've thought long and hard about this. The skin has two different parts. It has the surface level, which is the epidermis, and it has a deeper level called the dermis. Now, if the epidermis is to do with the brain relay, the cerebral cortex, that in itself helps us. There's 4 brain layers. And I know that if someone comes with a cortex issue, they are running some form of loss of touch. Think something massive. It's not just, oh, it's this. Think something massive. It's whatever's going on in here. It could be anything to do with loss of touch. So don't go thinking with your thinking brain. I'm just informing you that I would be asking someone, hopefully skillfully, without them knowing, professional questions about what's been going on. So eczema. Now, just to explain this in about 2 sentences, eczema is in the number 4 healing phase. It has come out as eczema. The doctor will have said, you have eczema. Beforehand in the stress phase, if you have skin issues, you may notice if it's very chronic that the area becomes a bit numb or dry or rough or even flaky. But when the stress is over, out pops eczema and all these other beauties in here. I'm not going to touch too much on the dermis, which is the deeper level. Only to say that when I was learning this, in my ignorance, and everyone else is the same, I would have thought eczema and acne were basically the same thing. You know, we don't know. We don't know it until we do know. So if someone has a deeper skin layer problem in the dermis, that's to do with self-protection or defilement of some area. Something's made, a situation's been dirty at work, in your personal life, a dirty relationship, and pimples, pus, and inflammation. Inflammation sounds very general, but acne is in the healing stage. And I would be asking questions from the cerebral medulla about what's been going on that you've been protecting yourself from. There's a great big bad word, melanoma, in there. That's in the stress phase. I think I would be prepared to say that that's when we don't know what's going on. It only gets uncovered when it's developed and it's highlighted. So I'm going to now give you a few seconds to give yourself a shake while I go out of this. And we're going to start the second part. Herb, would you like to tell me if, oh, I'm going to stop sharing. Right, Herb, so basically we're back to the screen with attendees. Perfect, thank you very much. So in this present times for me, I've come to fully take on board what's vital for me. And I'm talking about the COVID last year. You know, we've got to sort ourselves out in this ridiculously hard time. Some people have a really hard time. We all feel we're having a hard time. But what keeps us sane is what we value. And I certainly have a strong sensation of what my values are. As I mentioned earlier, if you're ever getting any coaching, a lot of time, not 2 minutes, a lot of time will be spent on what do you value? And you think, what do I value? I had great fun practicing this when I was learning this. You know, what is important? And I'm just going to rattle off a list of possibilities. Take your pencil in your hand, see if any ring true, because I'm going to ask you in a moment for seconds to think of 3 values that you have that are important to you. Adventure, challenge, family, wealth, fun, growth, friendships, health, beauty, status, trustworthiness, success, spirituality, self-respect, religion, loyalty, love, sex, peace, meaningful work, learning. So I know what mine are, you don't need to know mine. And they chop and change, they can change over the years or months. But I would ask you to write down what 3, just for a moment, try and write down 3. Now this is the fun part, so you can relax. Write down 3 that you think are important to you. When I was doing this with a whole load of very keen and eager students, we were into a little room and we jotted down 3. And we're working with health. None of us had written down health to be a priority. We roared and laughed. It was really quite funny. But oh my God. And one lady, I'm going to say this word. One lady, when she was telling us, one of the students said sex. I thought, yeah, sex is important too. But you get, so what you're going to do now is look at those 3 that you may have written down and cross off one that you could perhaps live without. And you go, oh my, I can't live without that. I can't live without that. I don't want to live without that. Cross out one. Just do it. And then look at them. You're left with 2. Cross out another. What's really important? Just do it and think about it. The point I'm trying to make is, if you were to spend 5 or 10 minutes tomorrow or sometime doing this exercise, you would realize that possibly your 3 main things you wrote down weren't even in your first list. But as I said, during the last year, we've all had to think what's important to us, who and what is important. And I would like to start to do a little bit of tapping. So those who are who have chosen to have their video off, brilliant. Hope you're still with me. And for those who are getting the recording, do join in, please. This workshop is titled Gratitude and Empowerment, and I wish to do some energy release work. And the intention is focused on gratitude. Excuse me. For those who are new to tapping, we tap, just showing it, on energy channels of the body. Acupuncturists use needles. We use our fingers. I'm not going to give you a lesson on tapping. Do follow, do join in. When I send you the recording, I'll also send you my tapping man so that that can help you if you're new to this. And we're going to start with a negative thought, belief or emotion. We're going to tap down the levels of heightened negativity. And then we're going to bring in some positive energy, which will be felt by you. And we're tapping in gratitude so that you can sense what is important and therefore going to be empowering. And if you feel triggered, put your videos off, come back, listen. You're in charge of your emotional safety. Chop and change hands if you want. So we're going to do a lovely, simple, basic routine, nice and slowly. Please repeat the words after I say each line. Even though I can feel stressed and worried, I choose to feel grateful and at ease with myself. See, I'm going to change hands. It's up to you. Even though I can feel stressed and worried, I choose to feel grateful and at peace with myself. And then we're going to say for the third time, even though I can feel stressed and worried, I choose to feel grateful and at peace with myself. Life is challenging. I need to feel at peace. Life is difficult. I want to feel at ease. I have a lot to think about. For those new to tapping, I love the collarbone point, base of the collarbone. Just press it gently there, tap or press very gently. And I don't know what to do first. This is underneath the arm. I don't know what to do first, and that makes me feel anxious. Keep going with this point. I don't like this stress and anxiety. Now go back to the karate point a minute, because I want to mention that we give these sensations a number. What number is your anxiety when you're repeating these words? This is a general tapping session. 10's very high, 1's, you know, I wish you'd chosen something else to do, but we're doing this, so give it a number. And I would also like you at one point to consider where you feel this in your body, because you're holding this stress, this anxiety, this block in your body. And it's just a negative block that needs released. And that's what we're doing. Some people give it a size, a shape, or a color. So back up to the top of the head. Think of the number. What number? This number, something, anxiety. I choose to ease some of this anxious feeling. It isn't serving me. It's old stuff. This number, what is it now? What is the number now? Next point. I feel it in my, close your eyes 4 or 5 seconds. Where do you feel some anxiety or worry? Where do you feel it? Maybe it's moved. Underneath the chin. This worry is not serving me today. Releasing this feeling of anxiety. Choosing to release this anxiety. And welcome a sense of gratitude. Side of the eye bone. Gratitude for all I have that is important. Underneath the eye, leaving the old stuff behind. Sensing what is important. Feeling gratitude. Feeling grateful. Underneath the arm, where do you feel this feeling of being grateful? Have a sense where you feel it. Top of the head. Breathing in gratitude for all I truly have. It's a lovely feeling, this feeling gratitude. Side of the eye, my life offers much. I choose to move forward with love in my heart. Moving on with love in my heart for me. Believing in me. Feeling a great sense of empowerment. Choosing to carry forward this empowering feeling. Feeling empowered. Feeling strong. Feeling grateful for all I have. Feeling content. Feeling strong. Able to embrace new empowerment. To manage my life in these tricky times. To manage my life in these very tricky times. Feeling strong. Thank you. So for the next minute, get comfortable. I'm going to do a reimprint. But for those who are new to me, who are joining in the recording, I've been working in this for 10 or 12 years. Everyone is in charge of their own journey in life. But if you're looking for help and support through emotional trauma, anxiety, or as you've listened to the relationship with health and physical health and emotional health, please get in touch. We can have a chat or decide to choose someone or me to have a go to help you move on. We're not able, a lot of us are not able to move on our own. We think we can. It's not that simple. It is not that simple because we get in our own way. So I'm going to finish off my coffee. And this part, the reimprinting, matrix reimprinting, is a wonderful development that's come from EFT. And this is an opportunity to sense what a matrix reimprinting is. Important message here, I will be very specific. And you can adapt your picture to suit you. During a reimprinting, when I'm working one-to-one, I'm holding the client in a safe space. And it's very easy for one to jump in to you're immediately triggered into a bigger stressor than you intend. Please don't go there. It's not going to benefit you today. It's no benefit trying to do a biggie. Let's see where this goes. It'll be interesting and even fun for those of you who choose to have a go. And I'll open up the opportunity for questions afterwards. Herb, if you're still listening or even taking part, remember that I'm opening up the questions afterwards. And you're responsible for your actions. I'll keep you all safe, but please remember. So just for a moment, focus on a point above your eye line. Soften the glaze. See everything that's around you, and then come back. Now here's the important question I'm going to ask you. I would like you to think about a memory you have when you felt a little being the important word, a little bit stressed. It could have been this morning. Believe me, I had plenty when I thought I'd crack this workshop, but that was a biggie, so I'm not going there. A little one, something that annoys you. Keep it small. It'll have already popped into your head. Perhaps when you were not feeling any gratitude for something or for someone, you don't think people are appreciating you. Whatever it is that may be causing you to jump into this. And we're going to use all our senses and become aware of noises, smells, what you see. Close your eyes and see the picture that you have. Very importantly, I'd like you to try, if you're new to this, to freeze the picture. And all I want to ask of you in that moment where you've frozen the picture, again, I ask you to close your eyes. You can open them and write this word down if you want. What emotion are you feeling? What's the emotion that you're feeling behind the picture that you have? Is it unfairness? Is it annoyance? Is it hurt? Is it sadness? What's the emotion that you're having with the little stressor that you've chosen? Then I'll ask you, do you want to keep feeling this thing that's superimposed in my psyche? Or do you want to release this picture of yourself? Do you want to perhaps visualize a solution to change this unhelpful trigger, this pattern of behavior? Change the negative feeling. How do you want to feel? Do you want to feel empowered to be rid of this energy and simply feel at ease? And what's the value of keeping this pattern of behavior, this stress trigger? Okay, take 2 or 3 lovely, long, slow, deep breaths. And go back into the stress picture. And in the distance of this picture, you see your future self walking towards you. She gently walks up to you and asks what you want to have happen. She asks if she can sit with you. Jump at the opportunity. You agree. She looks as if she's in a good place. Allow your future self to sit with you. Choose a favourite place to sit with her or him. If we've got men here, gentlemen here. Choose a place to sit with your future self. She looks as if she hasn't got a care in the world and she's waiting to help and guide you. Now bring in all your senses. See what's going on around you. Maybe you're holding hands with your future self. You're going to be hearing what she might be suggesting in a moment. Tasting the surroundings almost. Touching what's around you. You don't have to move, you just visualize it. Smell what's around you. Your future self is relaxed and content. And you don't know why, but you sense that this can be you. This is you. And I want you to bring a sense of calm into your head space, and be grateful for this opportunity for calm and the opportunity for empowerment. Your future self is by your side, offering you the opportunity to turn up this feeling of deserving tenfold inside your head. Every neuron of your brain is thinking. We can be reasonably light-hearted about this. I want some of what she's got. You know, I want to have this. You've taken this opportunity. Every cell of your body is going to feel this calm, this gratitude for what you know is important to you, your values. And the empowerment that you feel from this is going to help you move forward with strength. Now allow this sense to flow down through your neck and shoulders, down your arms to the tips of your fingers and back. Every cell of your body is going to take this on at a cellular level. Bring it back. Breathe it into your lungs. Allow your heart space to open. Fill your heart space with the love that you have for yourself and what your future self offers. Take it down through your soft tissue organs, hips and thighs and knees, down into your feet, and then down into Mother Earth. Every cell of your body is feeling this. Allow it to strengthen and then bring it back all the way up through the roots, then into your feet, legs, up through your heart and lungs. And then you're going to pump this out or blast it out to the universe, to the furthest parts, as far as it will go. Send it further than that. This opportunity for you to feel empowered and to feel fully grateful with what's important to you. And then when it's sent out as far as it will go, bring it back in folds. Sit with it. Sit with it in your body for a few seconds, moments. And when you're ready, come back into the space. And I'm going to have a look while you're just enjoying this moment, to have a look and see if there is anything in the chat. Or if anyone, for example, you could raise your hand if you wish to say something, or whether you're at peace with what you've achieved this morning. So as far as I'm aware, there isn't a question, and that's great. I shall ponder for a moment to see if there's anything I've missed. Well, somebody may decide they want to ask something, perhaps some shakes of the head, if you're, or some. Is everyone happy with what they've got just now? So on that note, I will, in a moment or two, sign off. I will send the recording to all those who have shown interest and have signed up. And I will also include the tapping man for those who are new to tapping. This is a wonderful energy release for you to feel better at a quick fix level for 10 minutes or for several or many sessions at a deeply transformational level. Thank you very, very much for joining me. And I'm going to sign off now. Thank you. Bye-bye.